Okay, another round. And this series is gonna be called Yevhen Applies. You know, when I worked at ELO Group, one of the companies I worked with, we had a kind of funny activity that was called Ian Tries, which is my good friend Ian was trying some sort of booze that was in someone's cupboard for many years, and there was no occasion to try it. And yeah, Ian was the person that would try this kind of booze if someone would bring it into the office. So yeah, and he tried the booze, and I am gonna try the application to project management position in London, and to improve my chances, let's say, I would use ChatGPT game that I designed instead of the cover letter to show exactly how I would manage the projects that they talk about. Today we're going to manage this digital project manager project role, and to do this I need to copy all this information that we have here, including this Lorien, which is the company, and probably I need this information as well about the company, so all of that. And now let's start the game. This is version 1.5 now, so I changed the code a lot of times. So far about 20 people played this with me, and I'm not sure however many people played this game without me. And so far I got good reviews, which is good, so try this game, guys. I will definitely put the link to the game in the description to this video, and try it for yourself, and you will be able to manage a project, right? So yeah, but okay, so we need to definitely give AI the project details that it desperately needs. So let's hope they understand it. And okay, finally, PMO director briefing from Lorien Digital Project. So yeah, let's start and let's see how it goes. It all starts with the PMO briefing, and then hopefully someone will brief from the team. I'm not sure if the AI has a bad mood, then maybe it won't happen, but if it's in good mood, then that's what we're gonna have later. But for now, let's just let's assume that we have a briefing with the PMO director. Alright, here's the deal. We're in trouble, and we need a heavy hitter. That's you. That's me. Okay, that's nice. That's Contact Center project. It's supposed to integrate AWS Contact Solutions with MS Dynamics for a pensions client. Sounds straightforward, right? Wrong. Okay, that's what I like. We're behind schedule, bleeding money, and the integrations, let's just say they're not integrating. Okay. So that's an existing ongoing project that is already behind schedule and over budget and whatever else, right? Which is good. We can turn things around, I hope. Telephony, chatbots, workforce management, each piece is causing us headache. And right now, the stakeholders are getting impatient. The member mobile app still barely functional. Our internal web solutions half-baked. And the patient's admins, they're drowning in inefficiencies. Oh, it's like many projects in my career were exactly like that. Our last project manager, poof, gone, walked out, and now here we are. But I'll be honest, you've got the skills to turn this around. If anyone can pull off a last minute miracle, it's you. Yeah, I need this, you know, I need someone to believe in me more than I believe in myself, which is great. So, are you in? Of course I'm in. Of course, that's why I'm here. Any questions before I throw you into the fire? No thanks. Let's start onboarding. Okay, so we are meeting with the team lead, and hopefully this team lead will tell us something, like some key things that we need to understand before we even start thinking about the project. Okay, you step into a virtual meeting with the team lead, James Carter. He looks a bit stressed, rubbing his forehead before greeting you. Hey, good to have you here. You're jumping into quite the mess, so I'll do my best to get you up to speed. The short version, the project's being chaotic. Project scope, integrating AWS Contact Solutions with MS Dynamics for Pensions Contact Centre. Key deliverables, telephony systems for client-specific needs. Web chat and chatbot, agent assist. Workforce management system. Internal web application for account, contact and case management. Okay. Member mobile app. So we have lots and lots of stakeholders, and communication plan would be key for this project, to be honest. But yeah, let's dive deeper in. Member mobile app, leveraging core digital product functionality. Current issues at a glance. Schedule delays, budget overruns, integration problems, low morale, stakeholder pressure, member mobile app stalled, vendor issues, testing nightmare, security compliance concerns, to name a few. I would just said here to name a few, guys. It's, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Your team, development, business analysts, QA testers, operations, unhappy, fearful the contract center won't be operational in time, client stakeholders, losing patience, escalating issues weekly. James sighs and leans forward. So yeah, that's where we are. I don't have all the answers, but if you need details, I'll try to help. What's your first move? Okay, guys. So let's think of our first move. Let me start speech to text recording. Yeah, okay. So, first move. We have these high level issues at a glance, and the first move before we even start doing something is to understand where we are with things. First of all, I need to review all the documentation we have on the project. And I mean project documentation, right? I don't need technical documentation right now, probably, but I need to understand whether we have some sort of project charter. Do we have project management plan? Maybe, hopefully, but I don't think so, because team lead said that the project is a bit chaotic. I need to know, in terms of schedule, do we have timeline or a baseline for the schedule, and where we are right now against that baseline. For budget overruns, I need to understand whether we have budget, and if so, how much money do we need to sustain this project, and how over budget we are. For the integration problems, I think I need to meet with the team and talk to them about the issues they have with this. AWS telephony isn't meshing well with MS Dynamics. So what challenges do they face, and whether we can invite people from AWS or MS Dynamics to help us with these challenges, or do they have a plan how to resolve these challenges. So I need some sort of kickoff with the team, where I would encourage them and say that I'm there, I'm with them, I'm here to help, and I will do my best to make sure that they have a steady progress, they contribute, their efforts recognized, and everything goes as planned, basically, going forward. I need some time for that, probably, of course, but still, that would be my main focus of the meeting with the team. So constant pivot and leadership changes. I understand that, and I will promise them that I won't go anywhere. I'm with them. So for the stakeholders, I need to review whether we have stakeholder communication plan. Okay, just 1 second. For challenges with stakeholders, I need to review whether we have stakeholder communication plan, which includes stakeholder roster and communication preferences and how do we communicate, and maybe RACI matrix in terms of who's responsible for what, because I would need all that information. And if we have all this information, I need to understand whether communication works or not, whether we have some sort of issues with miscommunication or client frustration because their expectations are not managed or anything like that. I need to know all that. In terms of member mobile app, which is stalled, no clear direction, development is at a standstill, I need to meet with this team and with stakeholders that are involved to understand better why are they stalled and what challenges do they have and how we can restart that process. What can we do there? Vendor issues. AWS consultants keep changing, slowing everything down. So yeah, we need some sort of client success, I think, right? In the AWS, they're called client success managers or something like that. So we need to understand who is currently managing our account, who's responsible for our account, and I need to meet with this person and establish some sort of relationship with them. If I can't do that, I need to know who manages these relationships with suppliers and work with this person to understand what issues do we have with vendors. Testing nightmare. Every integration test fails in new and exciting ways. So true. It's so true, guys. Oh, come on. Okay. So with testing, I need to meet with key people involved, and I need to review whether we have some sort of testing strategy and why it doesn't work. The next one is security compliance concerns. Handling pension data means strict security compliance, and we've fallen behind on reviews. Okay. We need to meet with the compliance team, whoever this is, compliance officer or someone, review where we are and what actions do we need to take to ensure compliance, and just put it in the scope, basically, if it's not there yet. If it's there in the scope, then we need to understand why it's not in progress. Okay, that's very important. I need to understand what about the project governance. Do we have project sponsors from the business side, from the management side? Do we have steering committee? How do we manage changes to the project? Any constraint, basically, scope, schedule, whatever constraint do we have? And changes to project constraints. And yeah, do we have any gaps in terms of governance? I need to understand that as well. And please don't fast forward time just yet, because this is going to be an investigation. Hopefully it won't take long. It might take a few days, maybe like up to a week, maybe. So no need to like fast forward the whole month. Okay, so that's the first step. That's the first step that we are taking. And again, it's just an onboarding, basically. I'm just reviewing and where we are, trying to understand where we are on the project, to be able to even start doing some things. Because without these things, I can't do anything. By the way, I forgot to meet with key stakeholders from the business to understand their expectations. Let's do that as well. Okay, so that's the first step we're taking, investigation phase. And again, I ambitiously want to do this in 1 week. Sometimes this isn't possible because maybe someone is on vacation or something, right? But hopefully most of it could be done within 1 week. Okay, let's review the documentation. Project charter exists but is outdated. That's not too good. The original scope has changed multiple times and the document hasn't been updated. Okay, this means that no one is actually looking after changes and how and why we accept them, which is not that great, so we need some sort of governance in place. Project management plan, not in place, or at least not a formal one. The last PM didn't keep documentation structured, which is, true very often. So I would need that plan. I definitely should have it. Schedule and baseline. There was an initial timeline, but it's out of sync with reality. So basically someone created the timeline, and then it was outdated, and then no one maintained it because what's the purpose? Current progress reporting are inconsistent. Okay, that's really bad. We need to fix that. Budget and financials. We have a budget, but overruns are evident. I'll get the latest figures for you. So in future we'll get them, which is fine. Finance team tracks spend, but there's no clear forecasting on whether we'll run out of money. In this project, actually, except for maybe spend that we have in terms of vendors like AWS or MS, what are we integrating AWS with? I don't remember now. MS Dynamics, right? Except for these two vendors, I'm not sure if we have anything else, right? Or only salaries for employees, that's it basically. Okay, so with the budget, it should be quite straightforward, and I just need to review roles and responsibilities in terms of the let's just read first, and then let's try and let's do something about that. Okay, stakeholder communication plan, not clear if it exists. Okay, that's bad. We need to do something about that. Stakeholders are frustrated, so if we had a solid plan, it's obviously not working. Technical challenges and team engagement. AWS telephony and MS Dynamics integration. Developers are struggling, and we've been cycling through AWS consultants. So we have many consultants, and last time I had that when we worked with Content Stack, CMS. We had like 10 consultants from Content Stack side, and they would just like send us from one to another, and it might take like 3 to 4 weeks just to get some sort of answer to a question, which is pretty straightforward and simple. So not good at all. We can set up a meeting with AWS-MS Dynamics reps, but right now there is no clear ownership of the issue. Okay. I don't really understand why exactly do we need these AWS consultants yet. So we need to review that, because in the ideal world, developers should be able to just implement everything by themselves, because they have documentation from AWS, they have documentation from MS Dynamics, and I don't really understand why they need involvement from AWS consultants yet. We need to talk to them. Member mobile app delay. Development team is in limbo because business stakeholders aren't giving clear direction. Okay, so we don't have actual scope. Need to meet both teams to understand roadblocks. Got it. Vendor and supplier issues. AWS vendor management. We don't know who our AWS account manager is. So it's an account manager, not client success. Okay, that's fine. Our procurement team might, but we need to track them down. So we need to talk to the procurement. No stability in consultant support. People keep rotating out. Who manages vendor relations? It's unclear. We have someone in procurement who handles contacts, but no dedicated vendor relationship manager. So we need to talk to procurement team then. No formal testing strategy. That's exactly how I liked my testing strategy, guys. No formal testing strategy. Whatever we test is fine. Then there is no chance something goes wrong, right? Because if there is nothing formal, then whatever you do is automatically right. The team is working reactively, just patching bugs as they appear. We need a structured QA process and test cases aligned with business requirements. Yes. and according to new PMBOK that is being developed right now, this is none of our business. It's going to be with testers and with QA leads. But yeah, we still need to get involved, of course, and manage that properly. Security and compliance review delay. We have a compliance team, but they've been sidelined. No formal progress tracking on security requirements. We need to bring compliance back into the loop and ensure they're engaged with development. Okay, everything that might have been wrong on the project went wrong by now, guys. I don't see anything that was done right or was successful, which is very funny. I tried to make this game more challenging, and I think that this guy ChatGPT here understood me quite clearly. Governance and decision making. Project sponsors, steering committee. There are stakeholders on the business side, but no clear governance structure. Okay. No defined change management process. Exactly how I like. Decisions seem to be reactive instead of structured. Okay. Next steps. I hate him because I created instructions for this game, right? And I told ChatGPT specifically not to do that at least 3 times in the instructions to this game. Because I don't want any next steps. I don't want any help from him to work on issues. Okay, so but it still does. That's the problem that I have, guys. You never had these problems on the project, I promise you. The problem that I have with AI is that it's too pleasing. It wants to please everyone so much that it becomes even irritating and frustrating from my side. Okay. Anyway, let's start. Let's get serious. First of all, I need to review the project charter, review the scope that was changed, and try and understand why the scope changed. I will go one by one, by the way, issues one by one instead of just 1 second. So I will go one by one, not from the high priority to low priority, but I think I should do that exactly, to be honest, because I always go just issues one by one. But in real world, you don't have enough time even or any other resources to do everything. So you need to prioritize, and I think I need myself need to prioritize this as well. So in my view, key challenges here, the top-notch challenge, the highest challenge that I have is lack of project sponsorship. So the biggest challenge that I have right now is lack of project sponsorship. Because where was it? Just 1 second. Governance and decision making. Here. There are stakeholders from the business side, but no clear governance structure. No defined change management process. Decisions seem to be reactive instead of structured. I need to fix that. I need to go to whoever is my line manager and ask to arrange a meeting, or maybe we have some sort of steering committee, or wherever senior execs sit. I need them to agree on few things with regards to my project. First, who is responsible for the project from the management side? Who is responsible for constraints? Let's say I need additional money. Who's going to give money to me? Who's going to sign this off for me if needed? Or I need an urgent decision in terms of the management process of the project, or the scope, whether it's in scope or out of scope. I need someone to tell me that. So sponsorship from the management side is crucial for me. And I need the same from the business side as well. Because many stakeholders from the business side, but no clear governance structure, doesn't really work for me. I need governance structure from the business side. I need someone to tell me what are the priorities. what do we need to do first? What do we need to do next? What is in scope for the project? What is out of scope for the project? And ideally, it should be one person, a product owner. If it can't be one person, I need some sort of committee of people from the business side who would give me that. These two things I need. And the third thing I need is change control board. If we are like doing agile and we're amazing at that, maybe we can get away without having change control board. But I don't really see that with this project. I would need this change control board because of the issue that was briefly mentioned in the project charter. That original scope has changed multiple times. I need that to stop. I need changes to be managed, and I need changes to go through some sort of formal process. If one person from the business, let's say product owner, can make decisions on changes, fine with me. If one person can't make decisions because of the governance structure within the company or whatever reason, then I need a committee, change control board. So I need these three things in terms of project governance really badly, because without them, it's almost impossible to deliver this project on time. So, and I need my line manager to help me facilitate this. Because that's actually like, I don't have formal authority to do that, most probably. Okay, so that's the first thing that is like really, really critical. Second thing that is extremely, extremely bad, I think, is stakeholder communication and stakeholder expectations management. That's the second key thing here. Because they said about no clear stakeholder communication plan. Stakeholders are frustrated, so if we had a solid plan, it's obviously not working. That's the first thing. And also, do we have a meeting with the stakeholders somewhere? I don't think so, right? Okay. So the next thing I'm gonna do is meet with key stakeholders from the business, understand their expectations from the project, in terms of communication, in terms of outcomes, and that we need to produce and provide, and goals we need to achieve. And I need to make sure that the project is aligned with these expectations. Of course, this like key person, maybe product owner or whoever I'm gonna have in terms of project governance, will definitely help me with that. But I need this sponsorship. And when I have these inputs from key business stakeholders, I need to create actionable and effective communication plan so that they have information readily available on the project to make sure that they are engaged and helpful and not frustrated, and their expectations are managed. That's the next thing. Okay. Number 3. Then the next step is team challenges. We need to understand what challenges does the team face, whether they can deliver the project themselves, why do they need AWS consultants, why do they need consultants from AWS side, and we need to find out who manages relationship with this MS Dynamics. I need to meet with someone from the procurement, maybe like the lead of the procurement team, and find out who manages these relationships and arrange a meeting with myself, this person, and AWS and MS Dynamics representatives to review ongoing existing issues that were highlighted and establish some sort of process to track statuses of these issues. Maybe some sort of issue log, maybe RAID log, whatever document we're gonna have. I need this document, and I need the team to see that we are working with these documents and they get a proper support from the project manager. Yours truly, me, right? That's the next issue. Okay, so the next is going to be a meeting with the finance team, and we're going to review the budget. Hopefully they will prepare numbers for us, and we're going to review the budget and see where does it fall into, and where we are with the spendings on the project that we have, and what are the budget line items, and whether we can have some sort of opportunities for cost cutting, if any, and if needed any. Maybe we don't need it, I don't know. Okay. The next, testing and quality assurance. I need meeting with the test lead, whoever manages testing for us, and we need to agree on how we're going to develop formal testing strategy. Now that would be aligned with stakeholder expectations, first of all, and that's of course I'm just gonna oversee this, but it's gonna be I need to delegate it to QA lead. Security and compliance. Again, we need a meeting with compliance team, where probably business analysts would gather their requirements and just put it in the backlog, and then product owner would tell us what is what the priorities are. I hope that we can put the security and compliance needs to the as late as possible in the development, because then we won't have to do compliance audit again. So I would love to have only one compliance audit if possible. Okay. Looks like that's it. Okay, so that's our input. And I need to add some magic for the next stage as well, and let's see how it goes. All right, so 1 month have passed, and now after a month we have some sort of outcomes of actions or decisions that I made, and let's see how it goes, right? First of all, governance and sponsorship. Management side sponsorship. Identified a senior executive responsible for budget decisions. Okay. Business side governance. Defined a product owner role or committee to provide scope and priority decisions. So is it a product owner or a committee? Yeah, dude, you can't answer that. AI, come on. You need to say that like Christina is product owner or something. You can't say that it's either or. Implemented formal change control process. No, you can't give me this kind of update. That's not what I need. Stakeholder alignment and communication plan. Okay, conducted meetings with key business stakeholders to align expectations, define clear project outcomes, structured regular reporting cadence to keep them informed. Yeah. Technical team challenges and vendor management. Held kickoff meetings with AWS. It wasn't a kickoff meeting. Come on. Identified a single point of contact for AWS vendor management. Created a formal issue tracking log to manage AWS-MS Dynamics integration issues. That's true. So I like that. Budget and finance review. Met with finance team to assess budget status. Identified over budget spending areas and possible cost savings measures. Testing quality assurance plan. Now I get it. So these are actions that I took. A lot of them, by the way. And now we have the project status after these actions. And now, no, it doesn't give me any additional information. That's bad. That's really, really bad. Okay. You didn't give me enough information on actions that I took. I need to understand outcomes much better than what was displayed. For example, what was there? Just 1 second. For management side sponsorship, need the name of the project sponsor. ADC. Okay. Let it try and let's see how it goes. So we have project status update after 1 month, which was CPI 0.68. Now it's 0.74. So which is good. It improved. SPI, Schedule Performance Index, 0.65, and now it's 0.72. It's improved as well, which is great. Stakeholder satisfaction improved a little bit. Team morale improved a little bit as well. Integration issues were severe, and now we have high integration issues. Vendor engagement has helped, but problems persist. Okay, but issue log should resolve that, given we are pushing them to resolve issues. Testing readiness was minimal, and now it's basic plan in place. Security compliance delayed, now is on track, which is good. Okay. Unexpected challenge. Senior stakeholder request. A senior executive has just made a demand that threatens project stability. Request from the senior exec. I need this project to launch in 2 months, no matter what it takes. Issue. The timeline is completely unrealistic, given integration issues and ongoing fixes. Additional demand. Cut testing time if needed, just get it done. Yeah. I've seen these kind of demands in my life. What can I say? I've seen this kind of stuff. Let's get back to this unexpected challenge. After we review what actually happened. Okay, so we secured David Mercer, Senior Director of Digital Transformation, as the official project sponsor. Responsibilities: financial oversight, project constraints, escalation path. So we have our project sponsor, David. Nice to meet you, David. Notes: he is supportive but extremely busy, which is always the case with the sponsor, so that's fine. You need to ensure your updates to him are brief and structured to keep him engaged. Will do. Business side governance. Business stakeholders agreed to appoint Emma Collins, Head of Member Services, as the product owner. Amazing, amazing. Scope management, decision making, and stakeholder alignment are her responsibilities. Emma is very detail oriented, but can sometimes delay decisions if requirements aren't fully clear. Yeah, but she's the one who has to clarify requirements for us, guys. Don't forget about that. Okay, moving on. Change control board implementation. You established a formal change control board. I can't establish formal change control board. I can only facilitate. Yeah, but of course, let's say I established. That's fine. With key decision makers: Emma Collins, David Mercer, James Carter, tech lead. Okay, financial rep, Susan Patel. Amazing. Yeah, that's fine. Works for me. Works for me. All changes must go through CCB. Formal change requests logged. Impact schedule evaluated before approval. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. So it stopped uncontrolled scope changes, created structured decision-making process, but we have potential risk. Emma's cautious nature might slow decisions. Yes, but I'm fine with that, because if we don't get it under control, then the scope will just balloon to the level where we can't deliver the project. So I needed that. And yes, we have cons. I understand that. Fully understand that. Stakeholder alignment and communication plan meetings with key stakeholders. You met with 6 senior stakeholders to clarify expectations, including a lot of people. I won't read that. Communication plan created, cadence established, bi-weekly executive updates. Bi-weekly executive updates. I would prefer fortnightly, so maybe they mean bi-weekly every 2 weeks. Maybe. I'm not sure. But I would prefer every 2 weeks, basically. Not twice a week, because I think this might be twice a week. So fortnightly, I think, is the word for what I would prefer. Weekly stakeholder check-ins, that's fine. Daily stand-ups with tech teams, fine. Reporting format: risk log and mitigation actions shared weekly. Normally it's risk register, not risk log, but what can I do with this guy? Budget burn down tracking enabled. Dashboard with project health metrics. Wow, I did a good job, guys. And only in just 1 month I did all that. Typically I wouldn't do all these things, to be honest, because if the project is such a mess, create a dashboard with meaningful metrics in just 1 month, almost impossible, because this data will not flow from the team, basically. So we need to teach the team how to gather the data first, and then aggregate this data into some sort of meaningful dashboard. In most cases, sometimes this is possible if we have like out of the box solution, but yeah, anyway. Stakeholders now receive structured updates. Yes, they should. Stakeholder expectations are documented and aligned. Still some mistrust due to past miscommunications. Okay, that's fine. Vendor technical team challenges. Meeting held, and we have these James O'Reilly and Priya Sharma. And the outcome of the meeting, which is from AWS and MS Dynamics. Identified key misalignment. Telephony API calls are not structured correctly. AWS and MS Dynamics engineers now working on a fix. So they have issues on their side, and that's what we had. So we couldn't solve these issues on our side. And that's now logical that we actually had these guys work on them. And we established weekly status thing. Amazing. In my experience, this is like this might take like 2 months. Just that. Unfortunately, in most cases, vendor representatives are kind of slow. Escalation path created to speed up responses to blockers, which is good. Integration issues finally being worked, and we have only one potential risk. AWS consultant turnover still a concern. There is no concern for me, because if we have a consultant turnover, it doesn't mean that we have a developers turnover on the AWS side. So we can just talk to some other person. That's fine. Finance team, we have project budget overruns. of 600K. Cost-cutting measures considered. Okay, that's fine. We'll think about that. Let's see. Okay, so delayed hiring of additional consultants for AWS and MS Dynamics. So these consultants, I don't really understand now. Are they in our team, or are these consultants are on AWS and the MS Dynamics team as part of the contract that we have with these guys? Now I need to clarify that, because like if we're hiring them, then probably they are on our side, and they just call developers consultants basically. Reduce external QA costs by relocating internal resources, negotiating AWS licensing costs down by 50K. All right. No extra funding source. I don't think we will have any extra funding source outside the project. So yeah, it's just gonna be through steering committee. So that's fine. What's the testing and quality assurance plan? We had a meeting with the QA lead, Thomas Harris. No structured test plan in place. Testing occurs ad hoc, and we created testing strategy. Pilot testing started on AWS and MS Dynamics integration. Amazing. And with security and compliance, we had a meeting with the compliance officer, and we updated backlog with compliance tasks. That's fine with me. And documentation structured for future audits. That could take much more than a month. Security review scheduled in final development sprint. Okay, fine with me. We made some progress. Okay. What is our next move? Okay, let's think about that. So first of all, we have this unreasonable stakeholder request, right? Okay, first of all, David Mercer, the project sponsor, suddenly demands, I need this project to launch in 2 months, no matter what. Cut testing if necessary. This is the sponsor, so we can't say no to the sponsor, right? That's not an option. We can't say yes as well, because we can't just cut testing. So, no, we need to test. We're sure of that, right, guys? So, what are we gonna do? We will sit with the sponsor and try and find actionable plan on how we can do this. Before we sit with the sponsor, we need to prepare impact analysis with the team of what can be launched in 2 months in terms of scope. So we need to review with the team the scope that was developed so far and come up with the plan where we are cutting everything, like each and every piece that is not absolutely essential for the project. We leave just bare skeleton, and that's what we can release in 2 months, hopefully. If it's not possible to release in 2 months, this bare skeleton, bare minimum, then we need to have a plan for whatever time it takes to release this bare minimum, and that's going to be our phase 1. And we need to go back, I need to go back to David Mercer with this plan and say whether David is happy with the release of that scope. If David is not happy, and we will sit with David and with product owner as well, not just David. And we would talk about what is potentially releasable within 2 months. We would talk about why 2 months. What do we have some sort of strict deadline we need to achieve? Maybe we can release whatever is needed for that specific deadline, and then go on with development of the other scope, we need to understand that. And we also need to highlight potential risks of not testing, because it's banking, so we can't just not test because of vulnerabilities, because of like bad behavior of the software, because of the reputational damages and other stuff. So it's definitely not an option, but we need to put this into the perspective for David. So that's the first thing that we're gonna do. What else? Everything else looks under control, to be honest. So everything else is under control, guys. I don't see any other issues. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, everything else just seem under control. Yeah, nothing else. Everything else seem under control. Okay, so that's the next stage. The only thing we work on is just that. So, action plan, handling the sponsor unrealistic deadline request. Step 1, internal preparation, impact analysis, and we had strip away non-essential functionality. We prioritize critical features only, and technical viability check. We got input from tech lead James Carter and QA lead Tom Harris on minimal stability requirements. Identified what absolutely must be tested before release. We created risk assessment, which is amazing. What happens if we skip testing? Identified regulatory and compliance blockers that cannot be ignored. Okay, amazing. Good. I really hope that it would be as easy as in this game on actual project. Unfortunately, very often this is not the case. We have additional challenges, cultural challenges. We have additional like dependencies that can't be ignored, and people work on other stuff, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. Okay. So we spoke with David, and we actually negotiated parallel testing, reducing test cycles, and reducing and requesting additional resources if the timeline must be met. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And what's the outcome? Mm, yeah, let's execute the plan. I don't really understand. Yeah. Let's execute this plan and advance time. Okay. So we met with the development team to identify a bare minimum MVP that could be released in 2 months. And Emma approved the revised scope. And sponsor meeting, and when we met with David, actually, the outcome, David agreed to phase delivery. 2 months deadline for MVP still stands, but testing remains. Additional QA resources approved to accelerate validation. Okay, so we will go even more over budget. Business acceptance testing added. Business stakeholders involved in hands-on testing early. Compromise, MVP launch is now a public beta with limited access. Makes sense. Yeah, because not all the functionality will be ready, so that's totally fine. And we have the risk that MVP perception might lead to dissatisfaction if stakeholders expect more. If it's beta, I don't think they should expect too much, but let's see how it goes. AWS and MS Dynamics integration progress, weekly vendor checks, issue tracking dashboard live, key blockers resolved, all great and good. Budget resource management, budget final cost 2.7 million over budget, which is good. Project status update, 0.78 in terms of CPI, 0.8 in terms of SPI, which is really good. Stakeholder satisfaction, cautious optimism. Yeah, we're doing good. Team morale is improving. Integration issues are medium instead of high. Testing readiness, we have active execution of testing, which is great. Security and compliance is on track. So yeah, I I just read emergency incident war room required, but before then we were actually doing great. So we were doing amazing. But after I've read that we have an emergency incident war room required, it means that we're not doing great anymore, guys. So we need to do something about it now. Okay, incident report. Time 2:45 a.m. Just how I like it. At 3 a.m. in the morning. AWS telephony system crashes across multiple regions. So I assume we were live, which I did not assume like before then. Impact. Contact center agents cannot make or receive calls. Live customers inquiries affected. Escalation from operations teams. Urgent client complaints. Like urgent. 4 a.m. emergency call with AWS support. 5:30 a.m. confirmed root cause. AWS API throttling exceeded due to unoptimized call routing. Okay. And if you guys did not understand that, that's totally fine. I kind of get the idea because I was developer before, but yeah, that's basically a necessary job to do something about that. Or maybe DevOps, whoever we have who manages AWS for us. I think AWS consultants, that's what we call them. Temporary rollback applied to stabilize services. Does it mean that we had some sort of release happening at 3 a.m. in the morning for some reason and no one is watching these release? That's kind of strange. Full war room activated to determine long-term fix. Okay. Yeah. Okay, your move, war room leadership. We need to coordinate the war room responses. So, what are we gonna do in terms of war room, guys? First things first, we need to understand who should be on this like call or whatever war room we have. We need some sort of bridge, communication bridge, for this war room. We need to invite all team, anyone from the team who can actually like try and solve this for us. If it's AWS API throttling, I would expect that it's gonna be DevOps guys or SRE guys, whoever we have on the team. We need to carefully understand who do we need to invite to this war room first. Second, we need to write email and send it to everyone in the company, across the whole company, saying that we have an incident We are aware of this incident, and right now the rollback is applied. Therefore, the service is stable, and we will make sure that it won't happen again next time we release things, because yeah, sorry guys, that's on us, or something like that. So that's the first thing. We need this email to everyone saying that we are aware of the incident, and the service is now stable. Second, we need investigation, proper investigation, and we need to make sure that we test on lower environment before we release to production environment next time. And next time we need someone to monitor that the system is up and running. Hopefully we have some sort of automated testing and monitoring in place, and these two things should show us that the whole system is stable straight after the release and during the next few hours of hypercare after the release as well. Then, after we release, we need to send another email saying that we successfully released whatever we were releasing, and the system is still stable, so looks like everything is great. Next thing we need to do is post-mortem meeting or some sort of retrospective with the team, where we would understand how this issue happened, why we did not investigate it and captured it on lower environment, why we published the update promoted the update to production environment, and no one was looking at it immediately after the update, which is strange, and how we can prevent this from happening, and how can we improve detection of these kind of issues, prevention, and monitoring for these kind of issues. So in a nutshell, that's how I would manage this specific issue. Again, I don't think there's anything else to manage, to be honest. I think everything else is kind of on track, which is funny. Funny to me. But okay, what can I say? That's fine and well. Okay, root cause prevention plan developed, and breach communication sent to company. Key team members were involved. Lack of API rate limit testing in staging environment caused this issue. No automated alerting for API throttling. No dedicated hypercare monitoring after releases. Preventative actions, API rate limit testing added. Automated monitoring scripts implemented to detect call failures. Post-release hypercare assigned to DevOps and QA for early issue detection. Yeah, this all should work, which is fine. Impact. War room efficiently managed, minimizing downtime, new controls in place, company-wide trust restored after transparent communication. That's good. That's good. MVP development and testing progress. Telephony MVP functional AWS, limited chatbot agent assistance, business contact management ready for business testing, security and compliance review scheduled for next sprint. So, we're still over budget, which should be fine. Stakeholder management communication, fine. Project status is still improving, continues to improve, which is good. And everything went well this month. Yeah, so I think we're on track, and we just need to make sure that we are going in the right direction and everything that was mentioned already is just going in the right direction, basically. So I will just go straight to the game conclusion now, because yeah, I got a little bit of a cold and I have a sore throat, so I can't speak more than an hour, and it's kind of not fun anymore because we solved everything. So okay, so let's go straight to the end. So guys, that's how I would manage this project. If I think Lorian, right, Lorian team wants to hire me for management of this specific project, that's exactly what I would do. Given they have these same issues, of course they might have very different issues, and if that's the case, then that's fine. If this is not the case, then that's completely alright. And I did quite alright. I did quite well, which is good, which is fine. 90 out of 100, I would take it. And again, of course, if I would have more time, I would probably manage to even bring this into place, right? Because we were 300k over budget. Maybe there were some cost-cutting opportunities that I could take. Maybe. I'm not saying that this is the case, but maybe that's the case. And overall, we did great. So, whoever was with me this whole time, please, guys, leave a review. Let me know whether you are capable of managing this type of project. And yeah, try this game as well. I'll leave the link to this game in comments below, and let me know what you think about it and how to improve this game as well. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe as well. Thanks. Bye.